Hey everyone, Zach here. I am super excited to share this special Bard Soup one-shot with you. It is a collaboration between us, the Ottawa Food Bank, and an initiative called Podcasthon. This is the third edition of Podcasthon, and during this week, more than 1,000 podcasts are working together to highlight charities doing amazing work throughout Canada and the rest of the world. It's this really great initiative, and we were fortunate enough to be joined by the wonderful Nick Hupé from the Ottawa Food Bank. I really hope you enjoy this episode. It was a lot of fun, and please be sure to stick around after the episode for an interview with Nick, where we talk about the growing food insecurity problem and what we can do to help out. In the days before Zyzyk's fury, the halfling empire of Stir Tillamook was second only to the elven kingdom of Ulatharthiad. A proud nation home to lush forests with trees that reach to the heavens, crystalline lakes large enough to rival the Elsween Sea, and unprecedented wonders such as shimmering Smial, a city rumored to be constructed entirely from gold. In the days before Zyzyk's fury, the halfling empire of Stir Tillamook was a bastion of calm stability amongst an increasingly chaotic world. Rulers from other nations would come to consult with the great empress, Sadzi IV. Mighty kings would beg to sit at her feet and learn from her. Powerful queens would pledge their nation's wealth and support for but a portion of her wisdom. In the days before Zyzyk's fury, every person in Stir Tillamook was cared for and protected. There was hope and wonder and promise for all. In the days before Zyzyk's fury, life was good. And then began the 7 years of hardship, when a coalition of hobgoblins from the Brinkbent Mountains allied themselves with displaced orcs from Mount Drolbrick. The peaceful empire of Stir Tillamook was swiftly drawn into a war they were ill-prepared for. Their enemies swarmed across the land, aided by fire giant mercenaries from the deepest reaches of Zav, as clouds of wyverns filled the air. One by one, the great cities of Stir Tillamook were conquered, their people displaced. As utter destruction loomed, the people of Stir Tillamook looked to Empyrean for help. They cried out to the gods to help them, and in their desperation, two took notice. Vasilis, the fastest of the gods, carried the people of Stir Tillamook away from the lands they called home, to a sheltered island, a place that would one day become known as merely Tillamook, because Stir Tillamook meant Great Tillamook, and Tillamook was no longer great. The other god that heard their cries for help was Zyzyk. Zyzyk the gardener, Zyzyk the caretaker, Zyzyk the god of life and order. Zyzyk looked down and saw the great trees of Stir Tillamook burning. He saw the crystalline lakes contaminated with blood and pollution from the great war machines of the invading army, and he saw the chaos enveloping the cities of the once great empire. And in this moment, Zyzyk came down to Zav, and his fury was unleashed. What happened next, no one can say. All that is known is that in his fury, Zyzyk took back the beauty and the life of Stir Tillamook. The great trees were reduced to ash, the crystalline lakes dried up, and the wondrous cities of Stir Tillamook crumbled into ruins. The invading army was scattered, but with the utter destruction of their home, there was little appetite amongst the surviving halflings to return. And in the ensuing centuries, those that conquered Stir Tillamook kept the broken remains of their hard-won prize. Today, Stir Tillamook is no more. All that remains is a collection of militaristic hobgoblin city-states, nomadic orc bands, and fire giant strongholds. These lands are now a vast, dangerous desert, known to some as the Plains of Damnation, and to others, Zyzyk's fury. In the aftermath of Zyzyk's fury, some halflings turned away from the gods, blaming Zyzyk for doing far more harm than the invading army ever could. Others, however, felt a debt of gratitude, specifically to Vasilis. Vasilis, the fastest of the gods, never stopped moving, and many halflings felt that they should live their lives the same way. And so, the Boundless Pilgrims were born. Members of the Boundless Pilgrims are primarily halflings who prefer a life of continual movement, a nomadic lifestyle to that of a city. And while the immediate desire was to keep moving, to put the destruction of their homeland behind them, the Boundless Pilgrims have built a reputation as some of the most reliable messengers and escorts in all of Zav. And this is where our story begins, with a band of Boundless Pilgrims, a group of 4 to be precise, members of the OFB, or the Odrjal's Fury Bastion. Many pilgrims choose to sail around Odrjal's Fury, stopping off at Tillamook before continuing their perpetual journey around Zav. But only the most devout, or possibly mad pilgrims, choose to travel right through the heart of the desert. And this is where we find you.
Come gather round, travelers, and sit on the stoop. We'll tell you a story about Bod Soup. 3 lovable scamps in our traveling troupe. We'll tell you a story about Bod Soup.
It's super time. Pharos, the phoenix that is the sun, beats down upon you as you begin your 27th day of travel through Odrjal's Fury. One of the many drawbacks of a flat world, with a sun that never properly sets, is you are always caught beneath the unrelenting gaze of Pharos. Even with the shelter of your covered wagon pulled by 2 massive oxen known lovingly as Steak and T-Bone, the heat never fully leaves you. That being said, you occasionally find pockets of shade as you currently find yourself in Gophi Run, a narrow winding canyon with crumbling walls that tower above you. If you can just make it through Gophi Run, the worst of Odrjal's Fury should be behind you. But each twist and turn presents new dangers and opportunities for the countless violent denizens of the desert to set upon you. And as this covered wagon pulled by these 2 oxen narrowly traverses this canyon, navigating around pillars of debris and piles of rock, we see a halfling sitting atop this wagon holding 2 reins or a set of reins, pushing the oxen forward. Prima, could you please describe your character?
Okay, so I'm Prima, and I'm not playing Clay Campbell today. I'm playing Jimson Thornapple, a halfling barbarian.
Oh, nice.
Yes. He's a young man, and he's traveling with his twin sibling, and they're aspiring farmers.
Yeah, we came up with the farmer characters before we necessarily learned that the setting of the campaign was that we are very much pilgrims in a barren waste. But we had a whole bunch of things set up around being farmers. So we are now aspiring farmers, future farmers.
That's the dream.
And what a beautiful dream it is.
If you just make it through Gophi's Run, maybe you could set up a farm somewhere.
There's got to be some grass in there somewhere, and we're going to farm it.
And could you tell us just a little bit more about what Jimson looks like? Any defining features, or, what's his vibe?
He's got short brown hair, and do halflings have pointed ears? I guess. I didn't really put too much thought into how he looks. Just like a guy. He's a chill guy.
He's a chill guy. He looks like a chill guy.
Yeah.
Anyone who looks at him knows.
Yeah.
You said chill guy, and I immediately imagined him like chewing on a piece of wheat. Apparently, that's my strongest association with a chill guy.
Yeah, that's it. He's got a straw hat on. He's chewing on a piece of wheat.
And as Jimson pushes the carriage forward, the wagon forward, we look inside, and we see 2 more halflings. One of them, I'm going to assume, holding a book, maybe looking at it, maybe jotting down some spells. Jordan, could you please tell me about your character?
Sure. I'm Jordan, and I'm not playing Glimkey Treefeld today. Instead, I am playing Henry Moonlighter III, a halfling wizard. And I think you're right. He's scratching down some notes in a little journal and pulling back the flap on the covered carriage here and looking through a little telescope, just scanning the land. And he's like drawing sketches of what he sees in his little book. He's middle-aged. He's kind of like, you can see the creases starting to form on his face. Maybe a little more cake now because we're traveling through the desert, so they're like clearly defined with the dirt and sand. Stark black hair, mustachioed, purple robes, and then just got like this random collection of leather satchels and pouches. Just for any little thing that he finds interesting, he'll stash that away. He's a collector, so
Amazing. And then in the wagon with Henry is another halfling. Perhaps he's sharpening his blade, perhaps going through some drills, practicing some footwork. Nick, could you please tell me about your character?
Absolutely. His name is Zyzyx, typically a goblin moniker, but one he's took on as a mononym to not run but obscure his past. He's worked a number of odd jobs and is happy to be moving on with his life, far from wherever it may be, and happy to be charging forward, blade in hand, leather clad, but very shamble, very put together, definitely sewn together, pant legs maybe not the same length. There's some cuts and scrapes, but he's happy to be where he's been and happy to tell stories, and for that's most of what he's good for.
Cool.
Amazing. As the three of you continue down Gofi Run, Henry, perhaps at one point you take that telescope and you peer out the direction you're going, you look ahead, and you see another halfling riding a boar or pig coming towards you. Could you, Shannon, please tell us about your character?
So the halfling riding towards you is Oleander Thornapple, the twin sister of Jimson Thornapple, but she goes by Ollie. Ollie is fine. Oleander or Ollie looks exactly like Jimson. They are very identical twins, kind of a classic halfling, impish look to their faces, perhaps a bit of sun on their cheeks, a sprinkle of freckles. And she has that same kind of classic brown hair that Jimson has, but she has hers braided in a messy kind of braid all down her back. And she's wearing some leather armor because that's what circumstances have put her in. But there's a little bit of a farmerly tilt to her. She's got some overalls kind of with the strap kind of awkwardly sticking out from under the armor, and maybe a little bit of clover or whatever closest to a flower she could find on the side of their very destitute road she could manage to tuck into her braid. Oh, and she is, this is a key detail, she is riding in on her familiar, who is a gigantic pig boar thing.
Nice.
Yeah, we're going to call it a boar mechanically, but I think physically Papple Thornapple is just a big old piggy with a little bit of beardy chin. And when pigs are kind of gigantic and their eyebrows kind of start getting mushy over their eyes, that's what Papple is rocking. And they are making their way back towards the group.
Amazing. And I think, Henry, as you see Oleander coming towards you, you see that she's got a worried expression on her face. Because as a ranger, as a scout for this group, you were riding ahead, making sure the road was clear, there were no traps or ambushes lying in wait. And you have seen a little ways up, maybe an hour's up the road, something. You don't know what it is, but you do know that there is a swarm of vultures circling above it. Big vultures.
Well, y'all, the good news is the desert is exactly where we thought it was. The bad news is just down the road, there's a bunch of vultures. And historically, in my experience as a farmer, that means something has died. Could be dinner. Could be threat to our livelihood. We'll see.
That sounds like an astute observation, Oleander. Thank you for that. We could see the vultures from miles away, but appreciate the added info.
I saw them from closer up, and I confirmed that they are indeed vultures. So,
Ollie, no other details, Ollie?
well, here's a detail. It's very dusty out there, and it gets all up in your eyes. I'm starting to think it's not going to be very good for farming, But
oh, good. I was worried that the desert might be too moist for us.
Right. So the two key things we've learned so far is there's birds and it's dusty. Well done, Ollie. I love it.
I'm learning the ropes, and I will take y'all's feedback to heart. And the next time I waddle my piggy out there, taking on threat to my own life, I might add, I will be sure to note the color and texture of the vulture's wings. Perhaps if they're looking peaky, friendly. I will say these ones did not look friendly. There's a detail for you for free.
Ollie, I think we're narrowing down on the wrong thing here. The vultures are a sign of something else. I was hoping for some information maybe about, I don't know, bodies or, something that they might be feasting on.
Well, you're the doctor, so maybe you can educate the class on what a vulture might be pursuing. You were a doctor, right?
Yeah, something of the sort. Doctor, wizard, it's all the same.
Science is magic. So, as the oxen continue to pull your wagon, is there anything you want to do in preparation, or do you want to just see what awaits you on the road ahead?
Ooh.
Do we have to head in the direction of the vultures?
Yeah, you are in this. I mean, you could turn around. It would be multiple days return journey. You know what? I don't know really. I don't know. I put my foot down on the show. Yeah, you do have to keep going straight ahead. It's a big canyon, and you're not going backwards, because backwards, you know what? Hey, I'll give you an in-world reason why. The reason you take Gofi Run is because it is historically the safest of a bunch of very unsafe options. If you were to travel a little bit to the east, you would wind up in Hobgoblin country. There is a large Hobgoblin city of Karzelik to the east, and there's steady patrols that go out from the city looking for any stragglers or travelers who come within their radius. And to the west is Kolud, which is this fire giant castle that is, all you know is if you were on a map, it would just be a big ol' X. Do not go there. So Gofi Run has historically been the sort of middle ground between those two. It is relatively safe, and by that I mean not safe at all, but at least you're not intentionally putting yourself in harm's way.
What time of the day is it?
Early.
Oh, it's early in the day.
Yep.
I think Henry would maybe take a look at whatever rations and things we have to make it through this trip.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what do we have on us? We are set for a long thing, or we essentially down to the wire here?
The journey through Odrzel's Fury is definitely the most barren and difficult part of your 2-year cycle around Zav.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime it comes up, this is where you tighten your belts, you get ready for a long haul. You've got a bit of wiggle room, but it's maybe a couple days before, a couple days worth of wiggle room is what I'm trying to say. It's You're about 3 weeks into your journey. You're on day 27. I guess that'd be 3.5 in Zav weeks. And it's about a 40-day journey, just shy of, to get through to the other side. So you still have about another 10, 12 days. And food is, you've got 10, 12 days worth of food, but not much more than that.
So ideally we could maybe pick up one of the vultures or steal some of their food, because this is looking a little tight.
Yeah, let's start to stretch out our rations here. How long do you think it'll take for us to get there, Jimson?
I think the road's going to be another 20 days or so.
Oh, goodness. 20 days.
Yeah, just about.
Well, it's starting to look like the only way through this is straight, like we normally do. So I think buckle down the straps. Let's see what this is all about.
Prima busting out their first ever Bartube accent, and it being pretty solid,
It's pretty good.
the accent out of nowhere.
This is a proud father moment for me, for sure.
I'm fangirling a little bit. What was it? Oh, I was going to ask. Sorry, I think I missed it during your description when I was taking notes. But what are we traveling through Gofi's Run for? What is at the other side for us? That's what I missed.
You are boundless pilgrims. You are nomadic. You continue traveling. There are more verdant lands to the south as you are traveling clockwise. So you're kind of traveling directly south these days. And yeah, not like a specific destination, but just less dangerous lands.
Farmlands.
Where food and water can actually be acquired.
Have we been there before? We've assuredly pilgrimed around before.
It is a 2-year journey, roughly. And like, it's not like direct travel. Like, you'll stop for like a few days here or a week there, especially before and after the desert. I would say it's up to each of you individually if this is your first journey or your 20th, whatever feels right to you.
Perfect.
You continue along with Oleander riding Papple and Steak and T-Bone pulling the wagon, and you travel on for about another hour or so before you see the site that Oleander warned you about. There's this heavy cloud of vultures circling above, and you see that the canyon has kind of opened up a little bit here. It's a somewhat wider spot, and you see destruction. There are 2 wagons turned over. You see vultures picking at a dead ox, and you see at least a couple of bodies.
Well, that doesn't look like an accident.
No, it does not. And I apologize that I neglected to look down when I was looking at the bird.
You didn't like get all the way there. You saw the vultures when you were riding ahead. It'd be crazy.
That's on me, y'all. That's on me. I have learned a powerful lesson here today. I guess I like birds. I don't know.
Oleander, if you weren't so damn charismatic, I'd be more mad at you.
You can't stay mad at me. All right. Take a look. I hate to be the person who rifles through someone's pockets, but do we want to rifle through some pockets, or see if we can,
I think they're past the point of using these now.
Agreed.
That's what I'm saying. No use to them.
Yeah, probably not a good idea to linger long here, but if they have any extra rations, we should take those.
I think that's wise, Jimson.
Let's take a look.
All right. Well, you guys can check the things. I'll stay here and watch the car.
So if Henry is staying in the wagon, could the other 3 of you each make an investigation check? If there's anything specific you're looking for, let me know. Otherwise, just a general investigation check will do it.
Nice. I got a 3.
Cool.
14.
14.
I got an 18.
18. Okay. Jimson, I think the oxen start to react a bit and your attention is pulled away. You try and sort of calm them down, keep them from getting too agitated. Zyzyx and Oleander, though, you spread out and start to look. Oleander, you look over at the dead oxen, and you see several arrows protruding from it. Zyzyx, you maybe go over and look at the 2 bodies, and you see that they are both halflings. And based off the design of the wagon, you get the sense that these were probably also Boundless pilgrims. Given the direction they appeared to be traveling, you get the sense that they were probably Torsalic pilgrims, which is pilgrims that travel counterclockwise around Zav, whereas you are Salic pilgrims and you travel clockwise.
That's cute, because then you can cross paths.
Yeah.
So it's not like a never-ending like solo journey. It's kind of nice that people go the other way.
Yeah. And Zyzyx, I would say as well that as you're looking around, you see a 3rd pair of legs, perhaps a little bit longer than the rest, sticking out from beneath one of the wagons.
I think I see another body here. I'm going to change that accent right now. I think I see another body under the cart. We're going to stick with that Ottawa Valleyism.
Amazing.
I definitely shout out to everybody indicating that I see the other body.
Perfect.
Halfling looking, or what are we looking at here?
The legs seem longer than a halfling.
Just legs, eh?
Yeah, not like like a gruesome way necessarily. We can see what happens, but you just see it looks like maybe they were like crawling under the wagon or something. But yeah, the legs are just sticking out a bit.
Could I poke the legs?
Sure. What do you poke them with? You've got a rapier, I believe. Is that the vibe, or like a boot, a finger?
I'll say a fingertip. But it's a ginger push. It's strong enough where if you were asleep, you'd probably wake up.
Could you make one more investigation check for me, please?
20.
Ooh.
Nice.
You poke one of these legs, and it moves in response ever so slightly.
Zyzyx screams. He was convinced it was a goner.
As you scream, a voice from underneath the wagon screams in response, "Oh! Don't eat me!"
Don't worry, traveler. I'm just as scared of you as you are as I assure you. Who goes there?
Oh. He sits there quietly for a second and then pulls himself out from underneath the wagon. And you see this sort of large set, middle-aged man with a really bushy mustache. And he starts wiping at his robes and trying to brush himself off and says, "Sullivan Savon, at your service. So you got away?"
We got away? We just arrived, I assure you. Is he visibly armed? Before I get too cozy.
Yeah, fair. He does not appear to be. He's wearing he's wearing big robes, but they're not loose on him. He fills them out. Doesn't look like he's got a concealed dagger anywhere. No weapons on the ground around him.
Okay. He sounded pretty concerned, but still, if he was brandishing something, I just wanted to be prepared for that. But
sure.
Did you have any idea what happened here? We're just as confused, I assure you.
Yes. Okay. So you're not... No, sorry. That's my bad. They were different halflings I was traveling with. Well, I'm traveling to Nervaldir to present my latest invention. You see, I'm something of an inventor. I've invented a soap golem. Now, imagine if you were dirty and all you needed to make you clean was a hug. That is my invention. And I would have taken the ocean, but he's got a very adverse reaction to water, my beloved Sudsy. So I had to go through the desert, and it has not gone well.
Oh, I apologize, Sullivan. That can't be easy. But it seems like your attackers made a clean getaway, perhaps.
Indeed.
Can we... Sorry, can Henry hear this from the wagon?
100%, yeah. You're poking your head out from the wagon what the heck?
Okay, then Henry absolutely uses message to talk to Zyzyx. He's gonna say, "Zyzyx, I know the type. He's lost to the desert. Come back to the cart."
I think Zyzyx is, while initially concerned, is absolutely way too interested in the soap golem to give up at least hearing him out a little more.
Right, yeah.
I perhaps put my hand up being like, just 1 second.
I'm sorry, do you want me to pause?
Oh, no, there is nothing more in this world I would love to hear more about than your soap golem, and I think perhaps greater, what in Vasilis's name happened here?
Well, I could talk about the golem all day. I'm quite proud of it, I will say. But as for the carnage around us, we were traveling. We began our journey some week and a half ago, perhaps, and everything was going fine. A few incursions with some centipedes. You know the big type, right? You can wear them like a scarf. You know the type. Besides that, things were going well until today when we were attacked by a group of hobgoblins and some of the smaller kind.
The smaller kind?
I'm going to say Henry's whispers that loudly.
The smaller kind?
Hobgoblin but small. Is there a word for that?
Goblin?
The word you're looking for is goblin.
Goblin, yes, that's right. Yes, they set upon us. They killed that ox, killed a couple of my escort, and took the rest with them.
The rest?
Yeah, Henry messages Zyzyx again. I told you, he doesn't even know what a goblin is. Let's beat it.
Oh, this is tough. I feel bad for the guy, but I'm obsessed with the soap golem. and as a bit of a storyteller, I can't help but not just gain details about the soap golem, but I think also, are we in imminent danger? So I perhaps ask, was this recent? How long have you been hiding, my friend? You look quite dirty.
That's why I need Sudsy.
What happened to Sudsy, by the way?
Oh, they took him too.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Thank you. Well, I'm, as it so happens, quite adept at playing dead.
I'd say.
His tongue, slowly pokes out of his mouth and his eyes sort of glaze over.
I maybe wave my hands once or twice, more to humor him than actually convinced.
Yeah, a fly lands on his eye and does a little cha-cha, and then he eventually snaps back into it. So I did that, and they thought I was dead. And whoever their leader was quite mad about it. He said, oh, stop killing them. We need them for the excavation. So, I decided to just keep playing dead because it seemed to be working. And more or less you arrived, 30, 45, an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours later. Time gets fuzzy when I go cold like that.
I love the idea that he gets time blindness while committing to a bit. Well, I feel bad for you, old boy. I don't seem to see any survivors left. You don't happen to see any food around, do you?
They took the food too. The oxen, even the one that they didn't kill.
Well, they are mighty useful, so I suppose I can't blame them, but I'm terribly sorry you happened upon this. There's no way that you have a convenient way back to town without us.
No, not really. I'm more or less resigned to dying out here, I think. My plan was just to sort of keep walking that way and hopefully find the end. I'll tell you what, though. You seem like an enterprising sort, far more enterprising than the group that took me this far. You help me get my golem back, and I'll make you a very rich halfling. I'll give you 5% of all sales in perpetuity.
20.
Give me a persuasion roll.
Fantastic. Okay, I'm re-rolling that because there's no way I believe I got 2 nat 20s back to back. Seeing as I've never rolled 1 in my own campaign. So this is an 8. Oh, with persuasion. Okay, 12.
7.5.
I maybe look back at the gang to see if they even feel like this is a reasonable haggle.
Henry, again, in your head, 10 or he dies in the desert.
I think the problem here is Zyzyx would do this just for the story, but I counter with 12 and extends his hand, and then maybe withdraws it a bit, seeing it just how dirty he is.
10 or I die in the desert.
Done, but let's not shake on that just yet. Maybe when you introduce me to Sudsy, I'll take you up on that handshake. And for then, I'll keep you at your word.
Sounds like a deal. And as he goes to shake your hand and you pull it back, Jimson, you hear a flapping of wings. And you look up and there's this big cloud of vultures. 3 of them have peeled off and they land in this clearing, in this part of the canyon. They are bigger and scarier looking than these other ones. And the vultures that are picking away at this ox, they quickly flap back a few paces and take off to the air. These new vultures, they are large, maybe with a 15-foot wingspan. You see you've got these little bony protrusions coming out of their beaks. And as a veteran of Odrjal's Fury, you would know these to be dire vultures. And they are not content with mere carrion, and they are going to attack. Can I have everyone roll initiative, please?
No.
Oh no. I just got a 16 plus 3 on initiative. I would love to roll beneath a 15 for optics.
God must and die.
I have an 18, so a 13 with a +5 initiative.
Wow.
So it's okay. Listeners will also be skeptical of my rolls.
2 nat 20s and an 18. What is going on here?
This audition's going very well.
God damn.
I think you're gonna take my job. I rolled a 2 again.
No!
We're at 2 or 4.
Someone's career's in trouble.
And I got a 12.
12 for Henry. Okay. Oleander, it is you first.
I love how I noticed them first and then react the slowest. I didn't have time to even shout.
Well, for what it's worth, they also got a 4, so...
Okay.
Everyone else.
It seems like starting a fight and noticing a fight means you go last. Oleander, what you doing?
So they're kind of like starting. No, they're still in the sky, right? They haven't necessarily come within melee range yet.
I'd say they've landed in the clearing. The other vultures are scattered and they're kind of just coming at you.
Okay, cool. Well, my beast is already out, so I don't need to summon it. Zach, can you clarify for me? I can use my primal companion to take an action as my bonus action. Yeah.
That is correct, I believe.
Gorgeous. So I am going to pull out my longbow. Ollie is a little bit of an archer, not much of a fighter. Instead of carrying really a weapon, she carries kind of a pitchfork. But I'm going to take out my bow, and I'm going to do a little attack. That is I rolled a 12, and I have a +7 to hit.
Oh.
That is, 19 to hit.
That will hit for sure.
So that's going to be 5 piercing damage, please. And then for my bonus action, I am going to command my piggy. I'm going to command Papple. And Papple is going to attack.
Go for it.
Papple. People are going to think, guys, I rolled a natural 20. And it's
Oh,
causing me distress.
go!
Papple just got a 23 to hit a vulture.
So that'll be 2d8 plus 4?
Yeah.
This is one adept pig.
I rolled... Okay, wait, it's a D8, not a D6. I rolled 2 6s on my D8. And for a
So
second I thought
good.
they were D6s, and I was like, I'm cool, I rolled maximum damage also.
How does Papple trample this vulture?
Oh, God.
It's dead.
Should be who eats who. Pigs eat anything, and vultures eat
They
anything.
eat anything. Bones and all.
Exactly. Yeah, I think that gave me a grotesque idea, Prima, which is that I think Papple runs up and kind of chomps the thing and does that kind of dog move with its neck and slams the vulture into the ground, and then will kind of trample any remaining movement with its gigantic piggy body.
Amazing. Anything else you want to do?
I'm gonna look over at, your name is Zyzyx?
Zyzyx.
Zyzyx, sorry. I'm gonna say 1, because I've decided that I'm now competing with you to kill more people. Or more vultures.
Fantastic. I realize now I should have loaded my crossbow as we approached, and I don't think he did.
That's fair. If he's got it on him, he can pull it out, start winching up a bolt.
Absolutely.
Perfect. It is your turn. I will say, as you do so, Sullivan is in front of you. He grabs his chest and says, "Oh, good heavens!" and then collapses to the ground.
Fantastic.
Like a fainting goat.
I'll definitely start priming that bolt, and then I will use my bonus action to hide.
Sure. You can still make an attack if you want.
Oh, if I got the time, I'll shoot one bolt off and then hide.
Give me an attack roll.
13.
13. That will hit. And we'll say that this vulture is close enough to Papple that you can use sneak attack. So you can add an additional 2d6 to your damage.
Oof. Okay, d6. Rolled a 6 on the damage, and then an additional 2d6.
Mm-hmm.
A 2, so 8 total, and a 1.
Okay.
Okay, so 9 damage total with the
9 damage
first
total.
one.
There we go. Okay. And then give me a stealth roll as you try and hide. And what are you hiding behind?
I'll try to get the closest remains of a cart. If there's enough that could hide me behind that. I think that would provide the best cover.
100%.
And we'll roll 12.
You dive behind the wagon that Sullivan was previously behind after shooting this vulture, and it screeches, and it is Henry's turn.
Okay, I think Henry's going to flip open the flap on this cart just to give himself a little bit of a view here, and then fire off a firebolt or one of these things.
Nice.
I got a 13.
That'll hit.
Okay, amazing.
How many of these are there, out of curiosity? Or do we even know?
Yeah, there's like this big cloud, and you look up, I'd say it appears to be mostly normal vultures, not the dire variety. You see maybe like a couple more dire ones circling above, but there's 3 2 currently engaged with you. So it seems like might get worse before it gets better, but so far it's just the 3 that attacked.
Okay, fantastic.
And then Henry, that was a 13 to hit. How much damage?
Yes, I only got 4.
Okay, not bad. That's the perils of firebolt, but not bad. You flip open the flap, you shoot off this firebolt, it catches it dead center, some of the feathers start to singe and burn. And anything else from you?
Is there can I get cover behind this? The edge of the cart, will that help at all?
You could close the flap again.
Sure. Swing the flap back down.
And you close the flap behind you, go back in the wagon, and it is Jimson's turn.
Okay. I'm close enough to the vulture to make a weapon attack.
Yeah, you can run up, we'll say.
Okay.
If you're not close enough, you can get close enough.
I will run up and also pull out my hand axe and my sickle, one in each hand. Can I do one each?
Yeah.
Nice.
Go nuts. Are you raging?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, I think for what it's worth, I think it would be the bonus action to attack with the offhand weapon as well, so you cannot rage and attack with both weapons. So up to you. Kind of your 2 options there.
I will attack first, because Shannon's already killed one vulture. Okay, so hand axe is... Yay, I rolled in that 22.
Oh
so
my
that's
gosh.
a 25 to hit. These
Dang.
vultures are nothing.
That will hit. Hand axe is what, a D6?
Yeah, 1d6 plus 3 slashing.
Okay, so you can do 2d6 plus 3 because of the crit.
Ooh, 2d6. I rolled a 1 and a 4, so 5 plus 3, 8.
8. Okay. It is enough as you come running in with your hand axe. This one's already been shot once and fire-bolted once, and you just hit it with your axe, center of mass, and it goes limp. Anything else from you, Jimson?
Can I use my second weapon for the second vulture?
There we go.
Nice.
So this is a sickle, 17 to hit.
Okay, that'll hit. And then there's a sickle at D4?
Yep.
Okay, so D4 plus 3 for that.
3 plus 3, 6 damage.
6 damage. Amazing. The vulture is going to go. The only remaining vulture. And it is going to make a multi-attack against you, Jimson.
Okay.
It's going to start with a 17 to hit on a beak attack.
Yep, that hits.
Oh, snap.
You take 9 piercing damage as this thing
snap.
just bites your shoulder hard.
Okay.
Kind of burrows in a bit. And it is then going to flap its wings and it seems like it wants to take off. It gets the sense that maybe these folks weren't as dead as it was led to believe, and it is going to try and attack you with its talons as it flies away for another 17 to hit.
Yeah.
Which will be an additional 8 slashing damage.
Uh-oh.
And it is going to take off and fly 60 feet up into the air. You are welcome to make an opportunity attack if you wish.
Yes, please. 15 to hit.
That'll hit.
Nice.
To clarify, is this Jimson throwing the hand axe? Or is it still taking off?
I think that's cooler, so let's go with that.
There we go.
And yay, I rolled a 6. So 6 plus 3.
Oh!
9 damage.
Nice.
Dang.
Okay. It is alive, but pretty heavily wounded. Up to y'all if you want to take it down. Oleander, it is your turn. It is clearly had enough of this interaction, though.
We hungry.
It was one of my concerns as well was, okay, we're picking up this friendly guy, but we're halflings. We're used to feeding halflings. We're bringing a middle-aged man.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know.
It's like doubling our food needs.
Totally. Yeah, truly.
And who knows, the soap golem might be around the corner. It might not be.
And just a reminder, Oleander, that is you, Shannon.
Oh, yeah, slay. Yeah, I'm gonna take another at the old vulture.
Do it.
Easy peasy. Hey! So I'm borrowing dice from my partner, and she had given me this set that she was like, don't use those ones, they roll really badly. So I switched to these ones that allegedly roll really badly. First roll, nat one.
Let's go!
Let's go! That's sweet. I'm actually
This is
like,
huge.
But as a halfling, do we re-roll once? Is that...
Yeah,
You do
aren't
reroll once as a
lucky?
halfling, though.
Yeah.
That's a great call, Prima.
No, okay, all right. I got a 2.
Wow.
Put
Wow.
those dice away.
I'm going to use these for the rest of the session, and we're just going to see what happens.
Amazing. Papple cannot attack this thing. It's 60 feet up in the air. Zyzyx, it is your turn if you want to take a shot.
Fantastic. Would this be considered a sneak attack, or can it see me from 60 feet up?
Unfortunately, you got a 12 on your stealth roll, and it has a passive perception of 13. So as it takes off, it is generally aware of you. So it would just be a regular attack, but you could still do some damage.
Okay, fantastic. I'll try to give it another shot with my crossbow, because, I mean, Zyzyx, while prioritizing storytelling, is not immune to some spirited competition. So if the best he can get is a draw, that's what he'll do. So
Amazing.
my roll is a 14 plus proficiency bonus, so 16 total.
That will hit.
Wow, I really got to bring these rolls to my other game, because this is not how Zyzyx plays in that game. Fantastic. So if that hits, then he'll try to hide immediately again, but perhaps better. So taking after Sullivan, he's going to try to go under the cart to hide a little better. Let's see if this works. 1. So he rams his head into the lower board and shouts again.
Amazing.
Frustrated.
And also give me a damage roll for your crossbow attack.
Oh,
as you
sorry, yes.
dive beneath. No, good.
Do you also get to re-roll ones for hiding? Or no? Take
Good call.
advantage.
That's a good call, Prima.
Yeah,
So yeah, roll the damage. It's a D8, and then you can also re-roll your hide attempt because you are a halfling and you are lucky.
Oh, fantastic call. The damage is a 3,
Okay.
and my re-roll to go under is an 18.
Okay.
Nice.
So perhaps he hits the boards, but successfully slides under.
Yeah, you bonk your head a bit, but then you just kind of turn around and fall beneath the wagon and disappear from view. And you do not see as this third vulture, you shoot it and it falls out of the air and lands in the center of this clearing.
Oh, fantastic. Can I hear it thud?
You hear a thud, for sure, yeah.
Fantastic. So I perhaps mutter 1 to myself, but not being willing to break it just in case he's wrong.
So fair. The vultures above continue to circle, but it seems even the dire amongst them aren't looking for a big fight. A weakened enemy is one thing, but clearly you are not that. And so they continue to circle, but no more join in, and things are quiet.
May I ask a bit of a lower question?
Sure.
How do Boundless pilgrims treat their dead? Like, these are some Boundless pilgrims who were slain on the road. I'm wondering if we can kind of, put down a marker for them, or, what would be, as Boundless pilgrims, it's probably a dangerous thing, dangerous lives. How do we kind of handle that?
It depends. In some circumstances, standard burial marker on the road would be appropriate. When possible, some would prefer to be brought to Tillamook. It kind of comes down to personal preference, usually something that is known by the other members of a traveling party.
Was it Sullivan Savan? Was it?
There's no response.
Is he dead for real, or is he pretending again?
What's that? I'm still under the wagon.
Zyzyx, I think you can come out. The birds are being nice again. Can you wake him up, or I don't know if he's dead for real or if he's pretending again.
Let me check. I give him a little boot.
Oh, come on.
Oh, sorry, pal. Thought you were a goner.
My ruse worked.
You're quite good at that. It's amazing how you go so long without blinking.
Never needed it.
Oh. I was just... Was it Sullivan, Mr. Sullivan Savon, was it?
Yeah, something like that. Yada, yada, yada. My father's name was Mr. Sullivan Savon, whatever. You can call me Sullivan Savon. You know the idea.
Mr. S. Let me ask you real quick. You said that some of your team was taken along with the soap golem to this place that we're heading down?
Yes, the halflings that were escorting me.
Yeah, the pilgrims. All right. Well, why don't we go get them back, and then they can handle the funerary rites, because I don't much feel like digging.
I'm going to stay here and play dead. Maybe in the wagon, so the birds don't eat me.
Okay.
That might be wise.
I would be remiss as a member of the Ottawa Food Bank to not first check. Do you have enough to eat, pal?
I think they took most of the food, to be fair, but, anything you could spare.
Well, we have what? We said we had rations that would last us maybe an extra day or two detour. So I say if it's right among the rest of you, we can give them a day of halfling rations, which would be, 3 hours to this gigantic creature?
Okay, I was pretending to be dead. I can still hear you just fine.
Oh, sorry. I meant that in the most respectful way possible.
Ha!
Purely observational, you are bigger than me.
You are my least favorite of this group. I want you to know.
Well, so, he's also the least favorite of our group. No. How far away do you have any direction or any concept of how far this dig site is?
Oh no, I was firmly pretend dead by the time they left.
This, man. I think how adept, oh no, he's not even gonna, I was gonna ask him how adept he is at defeathering and cooking carrion is, but he seems mostly adept at committing to a bit. So
that's my greatest strength. And making golems out of soap.
Of course. This guy's a lost cause.
That's what I've been saying.
My heart is too big. I cannot leave him. I think I try to persuade the group to leave him most of our rations, but to take the carrion with us to perhaps cook it at a future point.
That, I think, is fair.
Agreeable.
More than fair. We did offer to take him with us, and it was his choice to stay here. Some rations I think are good. In exchange for the vultures, I think that's pretty square. Plus the 10% of future sales of Sudsies. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Should we wrap up the other pilgrim bodies so they don't get eaten?
Oh, yes. Henry definitely wants to help just move them maybe under the cover of one of the carts or something, for sure.
I'd say you take some time to clean up the site a bit. You find not much in the ways of leftover supplies. It seems like the attackers took most of the stuff, but you find a few scraps of spare canvas that you're able to wrap them in, and you not bury them, but hide them underneath the wagon out of the direct sun.
Henry definitely wants to just say a little quiet note to these passing halfling folk. He kind of says it more to himself, but out loud. May whatever road they land on, may it be safe, warm, and bright, taking them through orchards of their favorite fruiting trees. And he will kind of give a little look up to, what is it, Vasilius? Vasilis? Yeah, looking up to the skies, kind of with a wandering look to the skies, trying to find Silas up there, before stepping up, brushing off his robes, and heading back to the cart.
Okay.
Oh.
Henry, that's mighty kind of you. That's a side of you I haven't seen before.
We are all different, for sure, but what we share is this road ahead of us. So may it be treacherous for some folk like these. We have been lucky up to this point, so we should do our best to pay respect to those who've fallen on this path.
That's beautiful, Henry.
That is beautiful.
And I hope people do the same for us.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take the flower out of my hair and put it down near where we laid down the bodies.
Yeah, Jimson takes off his hat.
I think I had to mention Henry's sincerity as a change of heart from his willingness to leave Sullivan there moments ago.
Henry is not free of prejudice. That man is 6 foot tall.
This is fair. Are there, perhaps getting back to his roguish pragmatism, Zyzyx perhaps looks around for any scrap of perhaps tracks leading away, suggesting even a vague cardinal direction.
Yeah.
Perhaps a smell of lavender, I imagine this golem smells like.
Yeah. It's Irish Spring.
Is there any way I can help?
Yeah, I'd say if you want to make a Henry, if you want, Zyzyx, if you want to make a survival or investigation check, and if Henry's helping you look around, you can just roll that with advantage.
Okay, we'll do investigation because I have +2 in investigation and nothing in survival.
Solid.
Let's roll a 14 plus 2, so 16.
I would say with a 16, you pick up several sets of tracks. I would say like 3 distinct sizes, some like larger humanoid, some smaller humanoid, and then some other humanoid ones that appear to be shuffling or perhaps being dragged. And you see, a little bit of blood on a stone. And yeah, it's this canyon. There's like some winding passages. It's not a straight shot all the way through, but you think you can follow the trail pretty easily. And while you're doing that, I'd say, Jimson, you think it might be time to break glass in case of emergency. And you walk over to the wagon and you open up a compartment, just like in the floor, and pull out this large chest. And inside is a collection of items for the 4 of you to divvy up.
Ooh.
Yo.
There are 2 potions of healing, 1 potion of greater healing.
Okay.
And then things get fun. There are boots of springing and striding, which allow you to jump 3 times your normal distance.
Oh.
There is a cape of the Mountback, which allows you to cast Dimension Door, which is a teleportation spell, once per day. There is a Javelin of Lightning, which you can transform into a bolt of lightning once per day when you throw it. And there is Dust of Sneezing and Choking, which is dust that you throw up in the air, and all the creatures around you have to make a save. Otherwise, they start to choke and sneeze and cannot breathe and are incapacitated until they clear their lungs. So if you want to split those 4 big items up between the 4 of you, once you do that, you can take off in search of the missing pilgrims.
Dang. Okay.
Ooh.
What do y'all want?
Jimson, I cannot believe you were hiding this back here.
Got a gift for you guys.
I thought we said no secrets, but I do love a present. I'm a little bit drawn to this dust right here of sneezing and choking.
And you're a
What's everyone else drawn
ranger,
to?
correct?
I am. Yes, I'm a ranger.
You don't want that lightning javelin?
I don't want to zap Papple by accident.
Fair enough.
I'll take the javelin, I think.
Okay, fantastic. Henry, were you partial to the Dimension Door cape? That seems a little up your alley, not to speak for you.
Yeah, I think that would be wonderful.
Okay.
And a cape would go really well with your outfit.
Thank you.
Really
Thank
cool.
you.
Mhm, yeah, it would suit you.
He's like standing, waving it like a toddler in a dress.
Yeah. As you pull it on, it smells faintly of brimstone. And if Zyzyx is taking the boots, I will also note your walking speed goes up to 30 feet, whereas for the rest it is 25 because of your short legs. And yeah, you can jump 3 times the normal distance.
Yeah, dang.
Okay, jumping. And that's up or forward, I suppose.
Yeah.
Okay.
And any direction one might jump.
Fantastic. I think that might do well for the squishier rogue.
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Zyzyx pulls on these boots and you jump up on top of the nearest wagon, look around. Henry, you do a little twirl and there's this little trail of smoke that follows you, dissipates in the wind and the dust. Jimson, you pick up this javelin and it crackles with this energy. And Oleander, you pop open this bag and take a little sniff and immediately and pull it shut again. And you are ready to depart unless there's anything else you wish to do at this camp.
Before I forget, Jimson picks up the axe that he threw just before I forget
Sure.
it behind.
For sure. So, with your items in hand, Zyzyx has picked up the trail. Zyzyx and Henry, they start taking the lead, and you set off on foot, going down through Goofy Run. This area is not a stranger to seismic events, earthquakes, landslides, and these piles of debris every so often remind you of that fact. Occasionally new cracks form, new expansions of the canyon, essentially. And as you're traveling, you find a sort of gap in the wall, and some of that blood is smeared on the edge of this gap. You see the dust is kicked up, these footprints lead in. It seems like this group was not too concerned about masking their trail, and you follow it into this narrower offshoot of the main canyon. It's narrow enough that even despite your small sizes, you do have to go one by one. And can I get your marching order for this portion?
Ooh. I will elect Jimson to go first, as perhaps the brawniest of us.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay
Jimson,
with
you
that.
look around and all of us are doing this game.
Oh, shoot. Quick question, though,
Yeah.
since I was the only one who took damage last fight. How much does the potion of healing give back?
The regular potion will do 2d4 plus 2, and the greater healing potion will do 4d4 plus 4.
Does anyone mind if I just chug one of the regular potions for now, and then I'll lead the way?
Oh yeah,
For it.
go for it.
I'd be offended if you didn't.
Awesome. Okay. I got 8 back. Nice. Okay. I'm good.
Nice. All right, so Jimson takes the lead, and who's following?
Follow Jimson. I feel like Jimson and I probably play games on the road sometimes. We've been traveling together our entire lives. I feel like we probably have ways to pass the time together.
Okay. Upon Papple, or leading Papple,
I'll walk beside Papple this time.
the one thing you can't do, in fact. It's too skinny to walk beside Papple.
Wait, what?
Oh, so Papple would have to follow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, I see. Okay, well then Papple is second, and I am third.
Okay. Perfect. Then who is fourth?
I'll go fourth.
Okay.
And I'll bring up the rear.
Perfect. You travel down this offshoot for 15 minutes. At parts, you're climbing over boulders that have been wedged in. Getting Papple over them is a process, but you manage. You continue along until this fissure opens up slightly. Gets a little bit wider, and you see that the passage that you're following with the sun beating down upon you ends maybe 50, 60 feet up with a solid wall with a hole in it, a cave entrance. Standing outside of it, you see 2 goblins with rusty scimitars, bows strung on their backs, keeping a disinterested watch. And next to them is a large drum.
Have they seen me approach, I guess?
Make a group stealth check.
Oh, guys, I'm so sorry. I got a 1.
Re-roll it.
Oh, wait.
Re-roll it.
We re-roll it.
You rerolled it, you're so lucky!
Let's go. Woo, 14.
Hey.
Woo.
Well, I got a 7, so sorry.
Henry was like admiring his cloak and stumbled over it like a trip, but caught himself. I was like, okay.
You're at the back, so nobody saw. They hear like a little clatter and they look around, but you're just walking like nothing's gone wrong.
Yeah.
17 over here.
Okay. And Jimson?
18.
18. All right. They do not appear to have spotted you.
Whew.
Okay. Then I like back up a little bit more. And so like I push the other people back a bit and then whisper to them. It's 2 guards and they got a drum, but they're guarding some sort of cave entrance.
2 guards. Okay, well, how tall are they?
The goblins.
Okay, so they're short. They might be trustworthy then.
They have met the height requirement of trust.
They've met the height requirement of trust, so are we thinking diplomacy, or are we thinking, and I cock my bow a little, are we thinking diplomacy, you know?
I see what you're saying. Ooh. So they're what, 50, 60 feet away?
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh. How are we all feeling? Because we know they're violent.
I would err on the side of diplomacy, maybe, if you catch my drift. And by diplomacy, I mean diplomacy.
Do not get your drift.
Henry air quotes, trying to follow along Ollie's lead here. I mean, the only thing we know about them so far is that they've stolen Sudsy and they murdered a whole group of our kinfolk. So,
Or is Sullivan Savan a savant of setting up ambushes? Got us to go through this fissure to attack some enemy of his own.
Ooh.
Perhaps the soap golem was a fabrication.
Oh. Henry grabs Zyzyx by the shoulders and turns around. You've waited all this time down this narrow crevasse to tell us that now you're having doubts about the legitimacy of a soap golem?
I want it to be true. I like to take people at their words, and I love weird stories. This is what I live for.
Well, then hold me at my word. We must kill the goblins, whether there is a soap golem or not.
Okay, well, I'm not striking first. How about that? I won't have this smelly goblin blood on my hands.
Oh, my good man. And he taps you on the cheek. Yes, you will. And then he starts walking to the front of the thing up to where Ollie is.
Wait a minute. Don't we have a dust that we could use? Perhaps distract them and sneak past?
Oh, that's fun. That's just like a nice middle ground between cold-blooded execution and us being cold-bloodedly executed. Okay, yeah, I've got it.
Can Papple use the dust? Could we send Papple in, perhaps with dust rimming the nose? And I know I'm really going for it here. But should they reach towards the sword instead of lovingly kissing Papple, could he sneeze with some force?
That's brilliant.
It's brilliant, but absolutely could damage Papple. Because if he breathes in once, this might not be worth it.
You know what? I'm going to cast Speak with Animals on myself.
Nice.
I'm going to pitch the plan to Papple. Papple? Hey, Papple, eyes on me, buddy.
Hey, what's good?
Hey, buddy. It's been a while since we chatted. I know you love a plot, and how would you feel about being in the thick of one?
Oh, boy, how did you? Let's get me in there, boss.
Here's what we're going to do. You're going to take this baggie of dust in your mouth, and you are going to... Do you remember that time you bit the rotten apple, and then you bit down on it, and I got sprayed by all those maggots?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was hilarious, by the way. We're going to do that. We're going to roll it back to that, but you're going to do it with this bag of dust. And when the time comes, you're going to bite down, and you're going to spray the dust on those goblins over there. But the thing is, if you breathe in... or if you swallow the dust or whatever, you're going to feel really bad. And I'm going to, you're going to feel really bad. And I'm going to feel bad.
Are you punishing me?
No, you don't want to do, if you don't want to do it, that's fine. You don't have to do it.
No, I'll do it. It's fine. I just wanted to know if you were punishing me.
No, you've been very good. You did a great job with the vulture
which is why
there,
I'm
buddy.
surprised that you're punishing me.
You don't want to do it, and that's fine.
I'll do it.
Okay, you don't want to
Give me the dust. And Papple will try and grab the dust from your hands.
No, buddy. Hey, whoa, buddy. I'm going to do an insight check really quick. Can I do an insight check on Papple?
Of course.
Do it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's the highest roll I've ever gotten on these dice so far, and that's a 12. I like these dice. I should always use these dice. They won't get me in trouble. That's a 15.
Papple would die for you.
Aww.
Henry's watching this pig trying to get the dust. Ollie, he clearly wants the dust.
He wants dust. Oh, he wants.
Give me the dust.
By the way, Henry says hi and that you did a really good job with the vultures.
I didn't say that.
You didn't say that.
Stop, Apple. Quiet for a minute. Okay, you did say that.
Is this
Because
why we
everybody
don't talk
loves you.
anymore?
What? You're just, the point is you're a very good piggy. Now, you're gonna, also, Papa was originally a girl. Anyway.
This is a girl?
Do you understand the point is you're only going to spray them with the dust if they raise a hand to you in violence. If they raise a hand to you in friendship, you can drop the baggie. You don't need to unleash the grenade, if you will.
Okay, and just to be clear, it's just dust, right? Because a grenade, that'll blow up. And if it's in my mouth, I don't like the implications.
Okay, so it's not. It's a bag of dust that you're going to set off like a grenade if they raise a hand in violence. But it's like dust that's going to make you sneeze and cough. So if you breathe it in, you're going to get sneezy and coughy. And I will force Henry to do some kind of cure on you to make that stop right away because you're a good piggy and you don't deserve that. That's Henry. Henry gives his word.
We should talk more. Don't wait so long.
We talked like 3 hours ago, but whatever. You're right. It should be all the time. I'll work on it.
Henry sees Ollie gesturing towards them, speaking in pig, and he's like, "Oh God, what lies are you telling this pig?"
Ollie, tell Papal I love her. What a good girl.
Jimson says he loves you, and you're a really good girl.
I know I am.
You said best girl, actually.
Whoa,
I did.
That's probably not true.
Give me the dust.
Okay, are you ready, Papal? You got this?
Ready as I'm ever gonna be. I'll see you on the other side, Captain.
Okay, there's a good piggy.
And Papal is going to take the dust. The three of you hear, squeeze. And Oleander, you hear, all right, you sons of guns, I'm coming for you. Day of reckoning is upon you. And Papal's going to run towards them. And the two goblins immediately perk up. One says, what's this, skunk? Looks like we got ourselves a meal. And the other one says, well, would you look at that, stunk? Christmas came early this year, a holiday that we invented and celebrate in our little group in this cave here. That's right, Gunk. We don't need to talk about that anymore, though. It'll raise too many questions. Yeah, you're right, Stunk. Why don't we eat this pig instead? To which Papal is going to bite down on the bag, and I need Papal to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, what is Papal's Constitution?
A +2.
+2. Okay, that's Papal got an 11 on Constitution. These dice are terrible.
Papal bites down. The bag explodes. The two goblins start sneezing uncontrollably and collapse on the ground. And Papal does as well.
No.
Sorry.
Jimson, get Papal. You better scoop up Papal.
Yeah, I guess we rush in there now.
The four of you rush in?
They're coughing. I think they don't know which way's up.
Yeah, I think as long as they don't alert the other goblins with the drum.
Yeah.
Okay. So the four of you move in, and Ollie, as you get close, you hear Papal say, I got him, boss. I got him. I'm just going to take a little rest here. You go on without me. I'll be okay. I promise.
Jimson, get Papal, please.
Papal, is Papal injured or just coughing, sneezing?
Just coughing and sneezing.
Thornapples don't leave anybody behind unless they are the animal that is going to be butchered for meat, which is a thing that farmers do. But Papal, that's not you today.
Today?
We're going to send you to a big farm, buddy. Jimson!
Oh! I love farms.
Jimson, you're big and strong. I'm going to need you to hoist up my buddy right there.
So, zooming out for a second, we approach, and Oleander is squealing as we approach. So, I can only imagine these two goblins are like, are we being attacked by a herd of GD pigs?
Yeah, amongst all the coughing and sneezing, Stunk! I don't know what's happening. Gunk, I don't know. And I'm going to say the two of them actually pass out after a little bit of that.
Okay.
Papal.
From inside the cave, you hear a voice say, someone chanting?
Shit.
No.
I think, like normal, you should stop listening to the rogue immediately. So, they've passed out.
Yeah.
And Papal's still coughing up a fit, but alive.
Yeah.
Oh, thank heaven.
And I'll say after a little bit, Papal will I'm back.
I give her some water from my flask and like rinse out her mouth and nose.
So nice.
Aw.
Tell Jimson they're my favorite Thornapple.
Jimson, Papple said that she appreciated that, and you're not bad as far as Thornapples go.
Aw. Tell Papple that I'm going to make her a big pot of carrion stew after this.
Yeah, I'm gonna say to Papple, yeah, Jimson's my favorite too. Anyway, were we sneak into this cave here, or what are we up to?
I think that's mighty prudent.
Give me another group stealth check then.
Come on now. 10. I really wish that you'd told me the southern thing out of the gate, so I would have fully been on that.
They picked you up a different part of the world.
Yeah.
I come in with a 14 after all in all.
I got a 21.
Oh, I got a 7.
7 again, huh?
I love these dice. These dice are gonna fix my reputation.
You started rolling poorly, and I started rolling better like immediately.
Wow.
Cosmic balance. I will say Papple's making like a better noise. They're a little snuffly, little oinky, but you managed to calm her down and enter this cave. No cries of alarm go out, so it seems like you're just quiet enough to get in. It was close, but you just managed to get in. And you see this tunnel opens up into this larger cave. These long stalactites drip down from the ceiling. These pools of mineral-rich water are gathered here and there. The whole place is illuminated by torchlight. It smells very musky, very dank. You see that there's little duos and trios of goblins sitting around drinking some dark liquid, and a larger goblinoid, a hobgoblin, tends to a large haunch, appears to be oxen that's roasting over a fire. More importantly, though, you look past this group of goblins, and you see at the back of this cave it seems to be like a large metal structure that resembles the toothy maw of a barracuda or piranha. It very much looks like an animal of sorts, but it's this large metal construct that is embedded in the cave. And you see these 2 oxen are pulling large rocks, being encouraged by a halfling. Several other halflings are picking away at it with pickaxes and shovels, just trying to unveil this structure, make it more accessible perhaps, or excavate it. And yeah, that's the immediate thing you see.
So there's oxen being encouraged by halflings.
Yeah.
I assume like some of the survivors that were taken, right? From the cart attack?
Oh, yeah. For a second I thought, they are in cahoots, but no, they would. I think Sullivan suggested that they needed laborers. So,
Right.
Okay, it's probably under duress.
Right.
Henry, what are they doing?
It appears to me that they're excavating some kind of statue or structure of some kind. I've never seen anything like this before. In fact, Henry will pull out his little journal from wherever we're sitting and kind of do a super rough sketch of it, just to like take note of what he's seeing.
Sure.
Does anyone have any knowledge about goblin religions at all? A little history check, perhaps?
Ooh.
I speak goblin, so maybe I know a little bit about them. Yeah, I could do a little history check.
Yeah, Henry wants to just scour his mind too. Is this something that he would kind of understand? Why would they be doing something like this?
Sure. Anyone who wants to make a roll can make either a history, religion, or arcana check, one of their choice.
Ooh.
I rolled history. I got a 17.
I got a 9.
An 8.
I'll roll 2, even though I don't know anything about goblins. But I rolled well, so I got a 16 on history.
Nice.
Jimson, you are maybe not a learned individual so much, a little more brawn than brain, but something about this structure reminds you of a story you heard when you were a much younger halfling. And you didn't believe it at the time, but there was a story about creatures from outer space that came to Zav in flying fish. And you're like, that kind of looks like a fish. And I think as you articulate that thought, Henry, it kind of clicks into place that there is rumor throughout the world from the distant history of an attempted Githyanki invasion that, for one reason or another, failed. Very little evidence of this remains, but there have been occasional excavations or discoveries in different pockets of the world in which ships that can travel through the astral sea have been found in Zav. And you think this might be one of them.
Whoa. That's trippy.
That's so cool.
Okay, so, and do I get any idea why goblins or hobgoblins would be interested in this? Would they have any particular connection to this?
Not that you can recall.
Mm-hmm.
Many, not all, but many goblin kind choose to worship Svaraknar, the Endless Hunger, who's depicted as just this gigantic goblin, a pillar of gluttony and consumption. This does not match up with that. This is a fish. So you don't think that there's any religious connection. It seems far more likely that they have found this, perhaps recently, and are trying to do something with it.
Jimson, I think you're right. I think this might be an astral ship. What these goblins are doing with it, I don't know. But if we can, I think it would be in our best interest to try to save those other halflings. How many of them are left?
You see 7.
7 halflings?
7 halflings, 2 oxen.
Okay. And then how many goblins can we see from here?
There is a single hobgoblin tending to the fire, and I'd say maybe around a dozen or so goblins.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Pretty big number disadvantage
Yes,
for you guys.
I see. I think it's best we use our wits and not our numbers, clearly. Jimson, as much as we would love you to be able to go in there and crack some skulls, the rest of us need to be smart with our approach here. Keep the distance, keep moving, like Asilius would want us to do, and we'll stay alive.
Does our ranger friend have any additional abilities that might be useful here? I'm not familiar with rangers. Despite being competitive with you, Zyzyx acknowledges that you may have you may have skills here beyond his own.
Yeah, I'm not super familiar with rangers either. So, I mean, I can certainly tell you as a master of beasts that is a fish head.
A big fish.
Can I look around, Zach, at the tracks that are around and kind of try to get a sense of who's not in the room, but who's been in this space? Because there's halflings and there's obviously signs of halflings, but I assume that there would also be other footprints and other signs of people around.
Give me a perception check.
You know what? I'm going to use the nice dice for this one because this feels important.
The weighted dice.
Use one. Yes, the cheater's dice. Yes. Well, the cheaty dice, and by that I mean regular dice, gave me an 11. And so you said nature check, was it?
Perception.
Perception. That is a +5, so that's going to be a 16.
You peer in, and there's just like this dim torchlight. It's not super well illuminated, but you see in the dust, in the dirt, and there's this brackish water that's mixed in some spots to form little patches of mud. You see some larger footprints, humanoid, probably hobgoblin, smaller, maybe goblin or halfling. And you see one larger set of footprints, barely even feet, more like pillars. But you see them going into the mouth of this fish.
Oh, cool.
Perhaps pillars of soap?
Sudsy?
Ooh.
Possibly.
Any suds about that I can see?
I will say with the 15 or 16, whatever it was, yeah.
Ooh.
You see little flecks of soap, little sudsy bits of water, soap bubbles kind of dotting the landscape leading towards this fish mouth.
Well, I have 2 proposals, and the first is that we ask one of our fellow pilgrims, perhaps, what they know and what might be going on discreetly, and maybe get them on our side. I mean, if we're trying to stage some kind of rebellion here, They have pickaxes. They can swing them. And then secondly, I guess that was a second proposal already. Third proposal is that we are, unfortunately, I think, going to have to go into the mouth of the fish because that is apparently where our soapy friend is.
Okay.
I'm concerned about our approach. We're greatly outnumbered. Part of me wants to start a distraction, but Nick's distraction didn't go too well earlier. We failed successfully, and I'm not keen to start that again. Do we do straight stealth in?
Henry, how does your message spell work?
Ooh.
I can just point at one of those guys. Oh, you want me to talk to the other halflings?
Yeah. Is it like a one-way only?
No, they can reply.
Maybe we figure out what's going on.
All right, yeah, way ahead of you. This guy's thinking with his head. Yeah. How far away are we from some of these halflings?
They're kind of coming and going. I'd say at various points one would pass within range of your spell.
Can I say the same thing to multiple people?
Sure, it takes 6 seconds each time to send the message.
Okay, sit tight, and then you see him like fake focusing himself, really trying to sell that he's doing something intense. This is a cantrip. He's going to say the same thing to multiples of them. It's just going to be super simple language so they don't get confused. Don't panic. Help is here. When we strike, stand up and fight. And it rhymed.
Amazing. Give me a persuasion roll.
Oh, good. I'm good. Nice. I got a -1 to that, so
That sounds about right.
3 minus 1, 2.
Oh.
You hear a collection of voices sort of reply in kind or in one at a time. Who is this? Who's there? I don't know if I can trust you, stranger. Are you kidding me? If we attack, they'll kill us all.
I look over my shoulder and try to let them know that it's going really well. And he sends another round of messages. So please wait another 6 seconds each. Don't panic. I'm another Boundless pilgrim. We found your cart. We're here to help you.
Give me one more persuasion check.
Honestly, if they're not on board, it's all good. It's all good. 5.
Get out of my head, ghost. If you're a Boundless pilgrim, why aren't you in here working with us?
Henry turns back to the group and giving 2 thumbs up and be like, they're in. So when we're ready, they're going to join the fight.
Really well done, Henry. Nailed that.
Nope, that one's on Jimson. So if everything goes well, that's all Jimson's idea.
I knew you could do it, Henry.
Really glad you pointed that out there, bud.
So, what's the plan?
Ooh.
I genuinely think, team, we should, with the exception of Jimson, find some little nooks and crannies. Strike and move. Don't let them group up on you. If they do, move towards one of your friends.
Oh, you want to stealth this? You want to SEAL Team 6 this cave?
Essentially. It's like every last known location, you know?
No corners left untackled.
Yeah.
I wonder, is there a straight, and I know I'm going for this again, is there perhaps a path to the fish we could theoretically get to without being seen? Realistically, like not a stretch. Because I think if we get the soap golem, I don't care if the soap golem survives, but we could perhaps send that out as a distraction and perhaps most of us can get away. He might be a slippery target.
Hey.
Henry looks down at his cloak and looks back at Zyzyx
Yeah.
and says, I like this idea, and I'm going to grab your arm and we're going to dimension door.
Oh no, I forgot about the cape.
Amazing. The two of you disappear in a puff of smoke that slowly dissipates and blows out into the afternoon air. And you find yourselves suddenly in the mouth of this fish. You look back and you see the entire cave through these fangs, these crooked, jagged teeth. And I will say, you look down and you see you are maybe 3 inches on the other side of a tripwire. And you look up and there's some cauldron suspended kind of just like up in the shadows of this entrance that you managed to teleport to the other side of.
Gotcha. Zyzyx, watch yourself. I got your back. Find that soap golem.
Have you ever used Dimension Door before?
No, I feel sick.
I'm having too much fun with this. This is great.
Yay.
I kind of give you like a reassuring pat on the shoulder. I'm really proud of you, buddy.
I'm barely holding it together. Find that soap.
I believe in you. I definitely start looking around for a soap golem or any other eyes that might be on me right now.
Okay. Give me a perception roll.
Everybody cross your... Oh.
Mm.
That's going to be a total of 10, all in.
Nice. Hell yeah, hell yeah.
It doesn't appear that you've been detected.
Okay.
There's no cries of alarm. You don't see anybody staring at you. But what you do see is numerous passageways and doors branching off. It's not just like an empty, like this is not the main chamber. It seems like this is the entrance to a much larger space that is covered and goes deeper into the cave, embedded in the rock.
Oh. Okay, I got the boots, but that can only do us so good.
How many tunnels are there?
Yeah, how many?
Half dozen that spawn off from here.
Okay, let's look for some signs here. What do we see? Can we see anything else? Are there any suds or pillar footprints?
Give me an investigation check.
I got 11.
11. And Zyzyx?
A total of 3.
Okay, we're doing good. We're doing really good.
It's hard. There are signs, but they're in a language that I'm going to guess you don't know unless you speak Gith. And without, like, you see like some footprints, I would say, that lead off down like a tunnel. Some of those like muddy, big, round pillar-like steps. But after a little while, they kind of disappear as the mud is scraped off and it's dry in here, it's metal. But I'd say it gives you at least like the first tunnel to go down, and then like maybe after that, it's not so straightforward.
You can't message to something you can't see, eh?
Unfortunately not.
Shucks. I suppose we start heading down, eh?
It's a case of eeny, meeny, miny, mo right now, or should we just go left to right to left, right in the middle?
Left to right. Let's do this, buddy.
Okay, path 1.
Okay. I'm going to say I'm just going to roll a die, and
I don't like this.
We'll see what happens with that. Okay.
Ominous.
While the two of you start exploring, I'm going to say, you lose sight of the footprints. And it's like there's more tunnels that branch off and more doorways. You take some turns. Eventually, you find yourself in a larger tunnel that seems to stretch on for a while, and it ends at a sealed metal door.
Sealed metal door. So if we look at it, is there a keyhole? Is there...
Not in the traditional sense. It feels alien in design, but there does appear to be a spot where some sort of access could be granted. Some sort of alien lock tumbler.
Gotcha. Can I do like an Arcana check on this? Like, is there some sort of methodology to these doors?
Go for it.
I got a 17.
You take a look at it. It's complicated. It doesn't seem like a traditional key, like as you know them, would go in there. It seems like more of like a triangular prism, something like that. But ultimately, you determine it is mechanical, and somebody could pick it given the right skill set.
How good of a look can I get at this thing?
Computer enhance.
I am a wizard of the school of conjuration.
Uh-huh.
So I can conjure up an inanimate object and it can last an hour in an unoccupied space. So if I can look at this shape in good enough detail, I could make the inverse shape of a key.
I love it.
Fantastic.
That's so cool.
You examine it. It takes a while. You maybe like pull out a little, like you pop out the lens of your telescope and you use it to try and catch like the different corners and hidden parts of this lock. And you draw forth this triangular prism and you slide it in, and the door, there was no seam. It splits in two and just slides open.
I can totally see Henry too, like having drawing iterations in his journal to like figure out what would fit and what would make sense. Oh man, that's dope. This worked out very well.
You look in and you see a thick layer of dust covers everything in this chamber. It's not very big, and there's some shelving, some counters, but one thing in particular is this almost looks like a basin that is suspended in the air, emanating this bright blue light that is sort of just in the center of the room.
Sorry, it's floating or it's just in the middle of the room?
Floating in the middle of the room. And this blue light is sort of emanating out of it.
Whoa. I'm going to walk towards it, kind of like struck by this imagery. Like I'll step through the doorway towards this blue glowing thing.
Zyzyx is staying back, concerned for his own well-being.
Yeah, it does not react as you approach. You leave these footprints in the dust. There's multiple signs written in this alien language, but this basin just continues to float there.
Ooh.
Is there anything in the basin?
It's hard. You have to kind of jump up and crane your neck to see, but you look in and there is this shimmering blue liquid, thick, it's viscous, it seems to be constantly moving. On a side note, the holy symbol of Vasilis is a disc of frozen mercury. You would all be familiar with that. It appears to be almost mercury adjacent, but you don't think it is. You think it's something else.
What the hell?
Could I approach and smell it?
Sure.
Soapy.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm wondering
Yeah, I wonder.
if this smells like Irish Spring again.
Yeah.
Not a sponsor.
I wish. It is acrid. It bites your nose. It is definitely not Irish Spring.
Oh, shucks. What do I have in my backpack?
Yeah, you check your backpack. Henry's going to put his finger in it.
You take 4 acid damage.
Ah, shit.
Oh.
Don't touch it. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. I didn't touch it, but I'm telling you, you don't touch it.
You think, based off this, it might be a fuel source.
Interesting. There's nothing else in this room?
Give me an investigation roll.
Oh, there we go. 22.
This place is pretty emptied out, but you see chained to a counter near the back is this heavy tome. Again, you like flip it open and it's in this language you don't understand. But you look through it and there appear to be schematics and you think that this might be some form of instruction manual.
What the hell is going on here? Okay, well, this doesn't seem to be the room. Do you know what? Hold on a second. Can I empty out one of my inkwells and fill it up with this stuff?
100%.
Yeah, I would like to do that.
How many inkwells do you have? Because I have a tinder box.
Just one.
Okay. Just in case we have to make Molotovs.
Yeah, let's do that. 1 inkwell of this mercury adjacent acid.
It is, you realize, not a very deep basin. You don't empty it, but you take maybe a third of the liquid.
Oh, damn. Wow.
Wow.
Okay, I think we should try the next path.
I think that's great.
And as you two leave, we'll cut back to Papple and the twins.
I spy with my little eye something that is flesh colored.
Is it your own hand?
Yeah, it is. I gotta stop picking that. You always get it on the first try.
I'm so good at this game.
You are so good. You've been so good at this game our whole lives. You always beat me. I guess they're not coming back. I thought they were gonna like come back for us or something, but apparently not. So
They kind of just disappeared.
well, I presume they went into the fist, but I mean, I guess we should go, right?
I guess they're collecting the soap golem. We should maybe
Oh yeah.
free these other pilgrims somehow.
Okay, yeah, they can worry about the soap, and we can worry about some. That makes sense, because if they needed us in there, surely he would have come back and gotten us, right? That makes sense to me.
Henry said these pilgrims are ready to fight.
Yeah.
No,
Okay,
no.
good. So we're gonna drum up a. Why don't we get the forces together, and we could just march on the fish head right now?
Drew, we could all go into the fish.
Yeah, we could all go right on into the fish and give them what's for.
Yeah. Maybe these other pilgrims could help us out.
Yeah. Remind me, Zach,
Oh,
how many
no.
guards are there about? Who are we hiding from?
12 or something, was it?
Yeah, about a dozen goblins and one hobgoblin.
Shoot.
What are the other pilgrims wearing?
Nothing too fancy. They're clothed, but no armor, no weapons, obviously. Like they definitely have been stripped of their valuables and anything that would encourage them to fight back.
If I just walked up and started excavating with them, do you think they would, like, the guards would notice? I am just an average halfling.
That's awesome.
You can definitely try.
Yeah, I guess I'll just try to just walk up and start blending in with them.
Give me a deception roll. Or performance. Performance, maybe.
Okay, not bad. 16.
The hobgoblin looks over at you the second you step into the chamber. You freeze, and he says, "Hey, get back to work."
Yes, sir.
Are you going to try to get close to those other halflings, those other pilgrims there?
I think I'm just gonna go try to like whisper to one.
Sure. Yeah, you see this halfling man, appears to be pretty young, but he's got a pickaxe and he's chipping away at some rocks, and you sidle up to him.
Hey, we're pilgrims and we found your cart. We're here to help.
You mean that feller was telling the truth?
Yeah, what do you say?
I don't know. We thought he was a goblin or something, trying to trick us and so that they could beat us up or something. I don't know. He was very unconvincing.
What?
Least charismatic voice I've had in
Oh.
my head in a long time. My self-talk is very charismatic.
That's absolutely ruthless. I bet that guy's the least liked guy in his group.
Yeah. You traveling with Mr. Sullivan, Savon, or whatever?
Ah, that's right. He is a fellow with the soap creature.
That's right. Did the soap creature come in here with you guys? Get kidnapped?
Yeah, they took it and Dougie.
Dougie? What's Dougie?
Dougie Blossom Breath, he's our leader.
Oh, where'd they take him? Into the fish?
Into the fish.
What's the deal with the fish?
I don't know. They're making us dig it out, but I ain't ever seen nothing like it.
You ever heard that story about them aliens with the flying fish?
Nah, I'm a man of science. I don't believe in that science fiction.
Well, just saying, this looks like a giant fish to me.
Sure, ocean's full of them. What are you doing here? You ain't one of us. You came in, you got a plan?
Well, we're hoping we can come up with something. Mr. Sullivan tasked us with finding his soap golem. And I guess wanted to get you out of here too.
Well, appreciate it. If you got a plan beyond just getting us out, then we're in. But say the word. Or what the words are, I suppose. Tell us what the words are, then say the word. Oh, speaking of words, did that Mr. Sullivan remember to tell you that the golem has a kill phrase?
No way!
Huh?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he should have told you. It's kind of crazy that he forgot about that. It was kind of an
I
important
think
part of
playing
his
dead's messed with his head a
stuff. He should
little.
have told you. Yeah, if you say Sudsy clean up this mess, it'll go into a murderous rampage.
Oh man, good to know.
Yeah, no, I killed one of our guys early on when we asked him to clean up after dinner. So be careful.
You got any other
God.
phrases?
Sudsy, how about a hug? That'll calm him down real good.
All right. How many goblins and stuff are around again?
12 goblins, 1 hobgoblin.
So how long y'all been here? Notice any like routines or anything? Like these guys always watching you?
Well, we only been here a couple hours. I put us to work right away. But they've been celebrating pretty hard. And he points out several barrels. That's some mighty heavy grog they got there. It's, I don't know. If they keep it up, it might put them out. But it seems like they got a pretty high tolerance. I think as he says that, you've had grog. It is heavy. It is almost gasoline. It is explosive. It just needs a spark.
Oh.
Okay.
Or a spear.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. It's a pretty fruitful conversation. I think I'll just head back to where Ollie is and relay the information.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I'm going to try something. It might get me imprisoned. Promise will get me out. This was very helpful. And I think light that thing up, I guess, whenever it seems appropriate.
Of course.
I'm going to take off all of my armor so that I look like the halfling.
Oh.
And I'm going to, drop all my weapons and things like that so that I look like one of the captured halflings. And I'm going to timidly approach one of the guards. Excuse me?
Yeah, you approach this gnarled-looking goblin with just like half of his ears been bitten off, and he looks at you, says, "What's up, then?"
The boss man sent me. I was told to deliver a message. I was told. I was in the fish with him just now, and he sent me out, and he told me. Number one, he would like a report on the progress towards completion of the project. So you can give me that, and I'll take it right back to him. And then number two, he told me that you boys did all right for a handful of moss for brains, dumb, terrible, stinky idiot faces. I think was something like that he said, and that you should celebrate by you can open up that second barrel back there, and a few of you can take a shift in the back, just celebrating on account of your successes.
Give me a deception roll.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Moss for brain, dumb.
Dumb.
Okay, I'm going to use the nice dice for this one on account of me caring about the outcome. That's a natural 20.
That's good.
I am
Nice.
never beating these
Nice.
allegations. I am
Do it
never
again.
beating these allegations.
Did he say moss for brains?
I'm afraid he did, sir, yeah.
Hey lads! Batwin says we got moss for brains! We ain't gotta take that!
And other voices pipe up, say,
Yeah! The amount of work we do for him, he calls us moss for brains! There's no need for such foul language!
I think we ought to kill him. And a goblin mob quickly forms. The hobgoblin tending to the ox looks puzzled and does not intervene. You get the sense he might be part of the ruling class, but quickly senses that the ruling class might not be ruling much longer. And the goblins go marching towards the fish, only to trip on the tripwire, dropping about a dozen bottles of alchemist fire, causing a large explosion
Oh my god.
that rattles the entire cavern
Oh my
and
god.
obliterates the lot of them in a moment.
What?
I looked at Jimson and give Jimson 2 big thumbs up. I'm like, nice. Well, like we are free to go.
Yeah, Jimson's gonna yell to the other pilgrims, like, make for the exit, single file.
The hobgoblin cook steps in front of the entrance to the cave, brandishing the ox leg, and the halflings just charge him and tackle him to the ground and just kick him and head off into the afternoon air, feeling the sunlight again. And we'll cut back inside. As the two of you are leaving this chamber, there's a sudden explosion from the distance. The entire ship you're in shakes.
Taken off! The ship's taken off!
The ship is taken off.
Oh god. I would like to think that Zyzyx is also panicking. Can we teleport out of here? What have you gotten us into?
No more dimension doors for us, sorry. Are we still looking for this soap thing, or are we running out of here?
We are absolutely leaving.
Okay. Copy that. Let's get out of here.
Give me I'm gonna say survival check again as you're trying to navigate your way through this alien ship.
Sure.
Oh, this is not my strength.
Oh, I only got a 12.
Okay, 9 plus nothing. So that's a 9.
The two of you take off full sprint. For those of us at home watching, we see you run straight past the hallway that you should have turned right down.
God dang
You
it.
were going left, right, left, right, left, right before. This time you go right, left, right, left, right, left. And I know you think that, hey, wait a minute, that's the opposite. It should work. Doesn't it work? In that case, it doesn't. And you run into this large metal chamber before you've realized it. You see up a set of stairs, there is a hobgoblin with a just set of these massive shoulder guards, shoulder pads with spikes coming out of them. He's got long black hair that pools around him. He's sitting in this metal chair, and you see, similar to the basin, is floating just a little ways off the ground.
I shoot him.
All right.
I'm not kidding.
All right. Well, as you draw out a fire on him, Zyzyx, you look up and you see that there is a halfling suspended from the ground in a cage that is attached by a chain. He's got long, shaggy white hair, almost wolf-like, and an eye patch. And you see in the corner of the room with a chain with like a big cuff around its ankle is this creature made of soap. It is, imagine a bar of soap with legs and arms, because that's what it is. And it's standing there, and you walk in, and it goes, and Henry fires at the hobgoblin. Give me an attack roll. What are you shooting him with?
I'm going to use a chromatic orb. I'm going to do it with, I don't know, let's use like lightning damage. I'm going to cast it at a second level. I got a 15 plus 4.
That hits. What is the damage?
3d8. Okay, I'm going to do 16 lightning damage to the hobgoblin.
Sheesh! You walk in and he stands up and says, "What's the meaning of this?" And immediately goes, as 16 damage courses through his body. He is still alive, but not looking happy about that. That was significant. Zyzyx, what are you doing?
I think you got this, and I jump right up towards the cage.
Yes.
No, actually, can I fire this crossbow one-handed?
It's a two-handed weapon, but I'll allow it. Why not? Adrenaline coursing through your body, you just hold it. It's like holding a shotgun in one hand, and you fire off.
Perfect. I Doom Guy hold on to the cage and shoot off the crossbow at the hobgoblin.
Hell yeah.
Amazing. Give me an attack roll.
Okay, speaking of not beating these allegations, without anything added to it, 19.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Amazing.
I will say you are up there. I'll say, you know what? We'll allow sneak attack. He's surprised. You just jump like 15 feet in the air. Bolt comes flying out of nowhere. Yeah, you can add your sneak attack to that.
Let's go.
Fantastic. A total of 6. So not a ton.
Plus your dexterity?
Oh, plus dexterity?
So a total of 9?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
A little bit better. Okay. That's still something. Is this lightning ball, chromatic orb hits him. The bolt follows up. His like vision goes white for a second. He opens his eyes to see a bolt flying right at him. He tries to twist out of the way, and it catches him just like underneath his shoulder pad. And I think we're going to roll a little initiative for the two of you.
Nice. 11.
23.
Oh, very nice.
Okay. Zyzyx, you are dangling from this cage. The halfling in the cage looks at you with his one good eye and says, "Who the hell are you?"
Don't really have time to chat right now, handsome. Who are you?
Doggy Blossom Breath, at your service.
Zyzyx, halfling breath. Pleasure to meet you.
He's like, his face is real close to yours. This man's got the worst breath you've ever smelled.
He coughs a little bit at the smell.
Sure.
I imagine that the hobgoblin's only stunned for so long. He's probably hobbling there, eh? Talk soon. Would I be able to leap towards him?
100%.
I am leaping towards him in an attempt to stab him.
Amazing. You like kind of flip up, put your feet on the bars of this cage, and just spring forward, blade drawn, flying directly towards him.
Sick.
You're pinballing around this room with these boots.
Fantastic. 13 plus 5, so 18.
18 is just enough to get through his half plate.
Oh,
shoot. Okay.
fantastic. So that's going to be a D8.
You are a swashbuckler, which unlike other rogues, you are able to get sneak attack when you're in one-on-one combat with an individual.
Nice.
So add that sneak attack.
All put together, 9.
That is with the +3 from your dexterity.
That is not. So that's 12.
Oh, sweet.
You go flying through the air, and your rapier goes right through him, and he collapses to the ground. You like carry him to the ground, this floating chair he's on, you press him back into it, and it goes drifting off of its axis and just topples down off of this platform, and he is just dumped unceremoniously on the ground with you standing at the top of these stairs.
Henry!
I'm here, sir.
Sir?
Can you believe that? Zyzyx has forgotten any sense of like his own image, and he is just celebrating this ridiculous act he's pulled off. He's not quiet about it.
I saw the whole thing, my friend.
I was amazing. You were amazing. We're amazing.
And we will continue to be amazing once we get off this ship.
Oh, damn it. That's right. Blossom Breath, It was nice knowing you.
Hey, now, wait.
All right, free the soap golem. Let's get out of here.
Wait, what about me then?
I'm just kidding. I'll hop up there. You get Soapy McSoapface, and I'll hop up there.
Sounds like a plan.
I forget he can kind of mumble.
Yeah, Henry wants to walk. I'm gonna just firebolt the chain, just pop this thing off.
It just immediately, it bursts free, and it doesn't move. It just stands there looking at you. It doesn't have a head or a face, but it looks sad.
All right, Suzy, let's go. Does it actually follow?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. Nice.
Fantastic.
It stands a respectful 5 feet behind you.
Lovely. So he's suspended in a cage. Blossom Breath is suspended in a cage.
Yes.
How high? Could he hop down if I opened the cage?
He might like twist his ankle type vibes, you know, like it's not an insignificant drop, but it probably won't kill him. He looks battle hardened.
Fantastic. I think this ship is taken off. He'll have to take that.
Yeah.
I attempt to open the cage.
All right. So yeah, you have expertise in thieves' tools. So
I
you
do.
can roll a d20, add your dexterity modifier, and add 4 on top of that. So I think it would be d20 plus 7.
That's a total of an 11. Everything added in.
Okay. With an 11, you start working at it, and it's coming, but it's taking longer than you would like. You're kind of hanging there in the air. It's a little awkward. You're a little out of position. And as you're doing this, a door from an adjoining chamber opens up, and another hobgoblin,
Oh, shoot.
with a towel around his waist, says, "All right, time for my shower." And then he looks at his dead boss, and he looks at the soap golem that's been freed, and he looks at the two of you, and he immediately drops his towel, turns around, runs away, and
What?
you hear an alarm go off.
Oh, shoot.
I will say you keep working at it as fast as you can. You manage to pop the lock, and as you do, more doors from other adjoining chambers open. More hobgoblins, more goblins come bursting out. It is full Mines of Moria with them like crawling down the sides. Hatches are opening up. They're crawling down the walls, and the 4 of you take off as fast as you can. You go sprinting through these tunnels of this alien ship. None of them look familiar, but eventually you see the metallic jaws of the entrance of this ship. And Henry, you're like, the tripwire! And you go to stop. And then you look and you see about a dozen charred bodies. And you just keep running. Jimson, Oleander, you hear a commotion. You hear this alarm go off. You see your 2 compatriots along with another halfling and the soap golem that's just going boom, 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 running behind them in close pursuit. And they are chased by just a mob of goblins and hobgoblins, weapons drawn, charging towards you.
Wait. Where is the mouth of the cave? We're coming up the mouth?
You will be. You're halfway through the cave, I'd say. You've left the mouth of the fish, but you're not quite at the mouth of the cave.
Tell me when we get to the mouth of the cave.
If I have a thieves' pack, do I have ball bearings?
I'd say there's some ball bearings.
I hastily just shake this bag as I'm running.
Yes. Amazing.
Yeah. A few goblins get taken out. They just go tumbling, flying off, land in a heap. I'd say 2 of the halflings that were freed by your companions, they've cut the oxen free and they're pulling them out the entrance. Jimson, you look at this mob chasing after your friends, and you see them. They run. They're running towards you. They reach you. The last of your party, the soap golem, exits the cave. Henry, Jimson, I feel like both of you have plans. What are you doing?
Don't be a hero, Jimson. Keep running.
All right, I'll leave it to you.
As we're running, I want to say to Jimson, very rarely does a boundless pilgrim stray from the road laid out before them. But today, I take the path untrodden. And I'm going to turn around. And then I'm going to shout over my shoulder, put that on my gravestone. And I'm going to use Thunderwave to try collapse the cave.
No! Oh no! Henry!
So Henry casts thunder wave. So a 15-foot cube of thunder damage. It says additionally any unsecured objects entirely within the cube will be pushed 10 feet. So
Okay.
if there's any loose rocks, some support beams,
Yeah. You do this. You turn around and let off this thunder blast. Is anybody doing anything else, or does this just play out?
Can I pull
No.
Can I pull him out of the cave?
Let him go.
He wants to die here.
Give me an athletics check.
Hey, if you're within the range, I'm going to push you 10 feet.
Oh. Oh man. I should have done my thing.
So in that case, I would say instead of an athletics check, make a constitution saving throw.
14.
Oh, god dang it.
Henry, what is your saving throw?
12. But you are going to take...
2d8 halved.
Yeah, so I got 11 on the dice.
Okay, so Jimson, you take 5 damage. As Henry turns around, you're nearly blasted off your feet, but you grab him by the collar and drag him behind you like a disappointed parent as these bottles of grog go flying, hit the cook fire. The mob of goblins goes flying backwards, landing in a heap, and the grog barrels explode as this entire cave collapses in on itself, and you drag your friend, depriving him of his blaze of glory moment.
Jimson! Dude!
My friend, you'll have many paths to walk after today.
No, you don't get it. I was setting it up to be sick. I could use Misty Step. I had a bonus action. I played you all up because I was trying to win some sympathy, and then just when you think, oh damn, we should have been nicer to Henry, maybe he isn't the worst guy in the group, I would have shown back up. You
son of a bitch.
Frankly, no one thought you were the worst guy in the world. You're pretty nice. So you're mad that your friend rescued you?
Okay.
Risked his life to rescue you, and you're like...
You risked your own life. I was good.
Oh, that's so funny.
We didn't know that.
If you would have failed, I would have Misty stepped out of there. Oops, no more Jimson.
I'm saving my life, but I was going to do something really, really cool. So I'm mad at you now.
God, I was counting my move economy this whole time.
It was still pretty cool. To be fair, it was still pretty cool. Why are we debating this right now? What? Get the hell out of here.
No, you're right. I'm sorry.
You know what, Henry? I will do you one better, and I will tell everyone from here on out that that's what happened.
God.
In every tavern, I will tell the story of how you pulled this off flawlessly.
I appreciate that, Zyzyx, very much.
Zyzyx, see, I thought you were going to tell everyone that Henry died in a blaze of glory underneath the rubble. But your version of the story is nicer and creates less plot holes for when Henry's having drinks with us. So we're going to go back to Mr. Sullivan.
And so you do. You return down this passageway. Zyzyx, the Leaper, Henry, the Uncrushed, Jimson, the unwanted hero, and Oleander, the one who told a lie that killed 12 people. The other pilgrims that you rescued are grateful for your assistance. Papple keeps happily talking to you. This is why we should talk more, because when we talk, we get good ideas. That was quite the plan we came up with, you and I.
Our true Papple, you are a genius. You are the smartest pig in the world.
Ain't that the truth? And eventually, the sun starts to glow bright in the sky. Supernova is approaching. You reach the spot where you left Sullivan Savon, the inventor. You see he has been picked apart by dire vultures. He is not faking his death.
What?
And Dougie Blossom Breath says, ain't that a shame? I know I was Scottish before, but I like what you folks are serving up, and I'm going to try it out for size. Well, you may as well keep a soap golem, but I don't think he's going to be needing it anymore.
Ugh, Henry looks at this disgusting pile of corpses and goes, ugh, Suzzy, clean up this mess.
Yes! Yes!
And that is where we will stop this special one shot of Bard soup.
Oh.
That's amazing.
Amazing. Well, wasn't that something? I liked it. I'm biased, but I liked it. We were doubly blessed to not only have Nick join us for the game today, but also he stuck around to talk about his work with the Ottawa Food Bank. So please enjoy this interview.
I'm Nicholas Hupé. I'm a events coordinator with the Ottawa Food Bank. I've been working with us here for almost 6 years, about 5.5 years. And like Sudsy, we're cleaning up this mess as best we can. The Ottawa Food Bank was created 40 years ago, so our 40th anniversary. And we were never really meant to be permanent, right? We were started as a temporary measure. Initially, it was only canned goods, and it was only for people who weren't working. But in that time, we've expanded significantly, and we couldn't do this without the help of groups like this and people really donating their time and their money. We truly get very little from government. I think it's about 1.5% we get from the municipal government, and nothing provincially, nothing federally. So anybody who supports us at all, you're the reason we're doing what we're doing. So a huge thank you. But yeah, I'm happy to answer any questions. I really appreciate being a part of this. This is and I have a lot of fun on this job, but this is a pretty dang fun day on the job, I gotta say.
Yeah, like I've seen some of the stats that you guys have on your website and that you sent me about nearly 1 in 4 households in Ottawa struggle to afford enough to eat, and how that's like gone up significantly in the last few years, even with some of the trade issues going on, south of the border between us. Tariffs, grocery prices are probably expected to increase. Do we think like that's going to continue to become like a growing problem in the years ahead as a result?
Almost certainly. It's kind of tough to see how exactly that'll affect, but what I can talk about is the situation we're kind of already in. And I believe it's close to 40% of the food banks across not just the city, but I'm fairly sure the province as well, are reporting that they have to turn people away. So it's kind of this province-wide problem of there's already hardly enough to go around. And I mean, we've had local food banks kind of have to cut back how much they have to necessarily give out in their programs. And I know I volunteered at Heron Food Bank a little while back, and there was a line out the door the entire time we were there. And I mean, I've been here about 6 years, so I started right before the pandemic, 2019, and the demand that we've gotten from our member agencies has gone up 90%. It's gone up 90%. When I started, we were about an organization of maybe 30, 35. Now we're not quite double that, but we've significantly expanded. So we're having to do more with less. And it's only going to get tougher, right? And we can't keep being the canary in the coal mine, so to speak, of like, oh, now there's trouble. We weren't ever meant to be permanent, and Band-Aid solutions are only going to be sufficient for so long, right? And we have but there's the way we kind of work is the Ottawa Food Bank is kind of the food bank for other food banks, is kind of my elevator pitch. So we buy food and we process food in bulk and then distribute it to the other agencies for free. And there's an agency in every corner of the city, sometimes multiple. So it's tough, and it's only going to get tougher, but we do have a lot of really strong local suppliers. We have a farm out in Stittsville. So if anybody's looking to get their hand dirty, we're always looking for volunteers out on the farm. But we do produce a good bit of vegetables ourselves. Not that it's all of it, but we produce a good bit of vegetables ourselves, and we try to do local producers as we can. But I mean, food's already so expensive. So cash obviously helps because it helps us. We can purchase. We have a lot more purchase power than perhaps the average person, but also food donations are down as well. And food donations give variety and can give us things that we don't necessarily purchase ourselves. So things like desserts, chocolates, some household goods, right? Like we'll have some feminine hygiene products, but it's it really helps provide kind of the extras, right? And I mean, if we're buying a pallet of tomato soup, it's nice to get other brands of tomato soup in there as well. Food donations are definitely down, so that definitely helps.
Kind of building off that, if someone was looking to get involved, whether it was like a donation or volunteering, what would be the best way for them to get in contact? Should they, go to the Ottawa Food Bank directly, or some like the individual food banks in their part of the city? Like any advice on, just getting involved?
Yeah, totally. Like anything, it's kind of a complex answer, but definitely support your local food bank as well. So I'd say helping out here and helping out there. Obviously, the Ottawa Food Bank can buy food at a much better price than a lot of the agencies can, because we can buy a tractor trailer load worth of cereal, and we're not spending what one of the smaller agencies might if they run out of cereal and have to run to the store. So that's the reality of a lot of these, is they're all independently run. Obviously, the Salvation Armies and the missions are affiliated, with themselves, but with them all being independently run, they all have independent budgets, just like our own, and they also need help just like we do. So helping out here and helping out there absolutely helps. So definitely contact your local food bank, see what they need for sure, because it might differ from what we take, but we're very, very blessed with having quite a bit of volunteers. So obviously, absolutely, I recommend people applying to volunteer, but I also recommend, if you can, pick up an extra a soup can. Every time you do groceries, there's often a metal cage right out by the cash register as you kind of go to leave. And just one thing a week. Like, we don't necessarily need big grand gestures as much as they absolutely help. And yeah, raise hell, get people involved in your community. But, $5 a month, a can of soup every other week, it really does go a long way to providing sustainability, which is a big thing for us here, is being able to buy these things in bulk and parse them out as the community needs it. But also email events@ottawafoodbank.ca. It comes to me and my team, and we're happy to work with people to find creative ways to either get the word out there or to run your own food drive, run your own fundraiser. We can even do it so that you can make personalized donation pages. Do it in your place of work if you can, but we can come up with some really creative ways to do these things. But our warehouse only has so much space, and we can only contain so many people safely. But if you want to do a food drive, you want to do a fundraiser on your own, that's going to be immensely helpful.
Amazing. I think just my last question, and if there's anything else you want to talk about or anything anybody else is wondering, is sort of just like on a policy or advocacy level. Obviously, like as you said, there's no federal or provincial funding. Is that something that, someone could write their local MP or, anything like, is there anything you guys look for some support in that regard, if that makes sense?
Yeah, it does. I mean, absolutely get involved with your local government. And if you do kind of want ideas of how to help in that regard, absolutely send us an email, foodbank@ottawafoodbank.ca or events@ottawafoodbank.ca. But definitely tell your local city councillor that this is a problem and that it's a bigger problem than perhaps they realize. And I know I've talked to several city councillors as well, and so they're somewhat aware. And obviously, there's only so much that is within their power. But absolutely, let people know that it's a problem. 100%.
I guess just building off of like that question, maybe just to focus in on, I think you touched on it in a really great way. But is there a specific avenue that you're looking for more support in? Like, obviously, money is great. You say you have a really strong volunteer base. So is food donations like the backbone of it, or would money or monetary support be something that is like goes the farthest?
Money absolutely goes very darn far. The stat we like to send out is $16 can feed a family of 4, and obviously food's super expensive, but with our purchasing power, we can obviously make it go so much further, right? So I think it's within one's capacity, but money always helps, but money's hard to find. And I absolutely get that. So if doing a food drive is easier, filling one box, we'll provide boxes. We have food drive posters. We can set you up a custom fundraising page so you can track your own progress at work, right? You can try to aim and try to beat what your company did last year, right? So I kind of talk about it the way I almost do voting, where while one person can change the world, all of us can really make a much greater change together. So if you can have a conversation with your friends and let them know that this is going on and this is tough, but yeah, try to do a little food drive, try to do a little fundraiser. Money absolutely goes really, really far, but a balance of both is super, super important. And we definitely see those food donations really dip around this time of year. We really get a lot of support around the Christmas season.
Right.
And then it very literally kind of dries up around the summer months. So if you can do an Easter food drive, if you can do something at work in the summer, it'll really go a long way to kind of get us to that next busy season.
Yeah, that's a really cool reminder, actually. I don't think it would have anticipated that drop off, but it makes a lot of sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's tough, but people are hungry all times of the year.
Right.
And maybe we see it less because, they are people like you and I, right? And that stat 1 in 4 can't afford enough to eat. Maybe the kids are eating and the kids don't know, but the parents are regularly skipping meals, right? And, that caloric intake's not there. We have the highest rate of childhood use of food banks in the entire province. It's not Toronto, it's not Cornwall, it's right here in the nation's capital. Wow. So a lot of it is really hiding in plain sight. So, it's a lot of people just expect it's somebody sitting on the block downtown, but it's your neighbors and it's your coworkers, right? So people are hungry all times of the year. Anything and everything helps. Any other questions?
It's really exciting to hear about, just a comment, it's really exciting to hear about the resources that you have to help people do, fundraisers in their own communities. Because I think that's something that I would be intimidated or not really know that that's something that I could help facilitate. But hearing you talk about it kind of opened my eyes to the fact that it's maybe more accessible than I realized to make that kind of contribution. So thanks for sharing that.
Oh, my pleasure. We try to make it as approachable as we can. But yeah, I think that's one of the hurdles we're trying to kind of overcome right now, because I've prepared these resources and our communications team have put together really beautiful posters, and we have this online resource where anybody can make a donation page, right? We can keep it up all year. It doesn't matter, right? It's one of those hurdles we're definitely coming over, is like, anybody can do this and you don't need our permission, but I can help. We can provide boxes, right? So anybody can email events at Ottawa Food Bank. Our team just got a little bigger, and we're happy to work with you to whatever capacity you can help.
That's awesome.
That's really awesome.
Yeah, thanks. Well, we try. Any other questions?
How did you get into this? That's my only question. It's obviously it can be a tough environment to go into day to day. And I'm sure it's also rewarding, but what made you want to get into that?
It was kind of I don't say a victim of circumstance, but before coming here, I had a kind of a sustained back injury, which kind of had me hopping from the type of work I used to do. And I kind of had to hop between jobs for a little while, and found when I started to regain strength that I could get back into warehousing. It was something I did back in the day. And there was an opening at the food bank warehouse because it's big enough that we have forklifts and we have electric pallet jacks and stuff like that, right? And industrial freezers we can drive the forklifts in. Wow. And so I started off in the warehouse, and I worked in the warehouse for 4.5, 5 years, and kind of kept applying internally, knowing that I'm a small guy and my back can only take so much, but I wanted to contribute in other meaningful ways. Yeah. And another member of staff was like, hey, you should do this. Here's the local, here's how you kind of can dip your toes into fundraising. And then a fundraising position opened up. I applied for it, and that was almost a year ago. That was maybe 13 months ago.
That's great.
It was definitely something that I was going to be, once I was kind of given the handbook of oh, this is how you kind of do it, or because it's kind of an unconventional field, and there's not really a college program to get into fundraising. A lot of people get here a lot of different ways. So I think when somebody was like, hey, there's a professional organization, there's a lot of adults trying to figure out how to help and how to do this really effectively. It was something I was already looking into, and I had joined the professional body, and then the right spot opened up and I didn't have to go anywhere, and I got to stay
awesome.
exactly where I love. And the people who work here are phenomenal. I never want to leave. My coworkers, my boss are all like real salt of the earth people. And I mean, we all eat lunch around the same table. There's a real palpable sense of community that it's infectious, and I love what I do.
Damn, that's really cool.
Yeah, thank you so much. But yeah, I think the big thing that I want to emphasize is like, it is, it's a big problem. It's getting bigger. Obviously, international economics is complicating things right now, but things like minimum wage, things like affordable housing are huge problems, and are huge problems going forward. So if people could help out in any way they can, but also maybe vote with that in mind. There's a lot of folks that need help, and they're people just like you and I. When I applied to the food bank, I was a couple of weeks away from needing it ourselves, like myself, between doing odd jobs and being out with the back injury. Things were looking dire, and I had a lot of friend and familial support, but money's money, and that's really tough. So yeah, absolutely help out in any way you can, but please vote with your dollar and vote with compassion if you can. I really appreciate everybody taking the time to get to know me and get to know the organization and really invite me on board. This was truly a blast. I really had a phenomenal time.
Thank you so much for joining us for this special episode of Bard Soup in partnership with the Ottawa Food Bank and Podcasthon. I have been your Dungeon Master, Zach Meikle, joined by Prima Zhao as Jimson Thornapple, Jordan Johnsen as Henry Moonlighter III, Shannon Meikle as Oleander Thornapple, and Nick Hupé as Zyzyx. We encourage you to visit www.podcasthon.org to discover hundreds of other charitable organizations through the voices and talents of partner podcasts. There's a lot of really great shows and a lot of great charities doing some really great work, so definitely check that out. And if you feel motivated to donate to the Ottawa Food Bank, you can find a link in the episode description. Thank you once again to Nick for taking the time to join us for this episode. We'll be back next week with episode 20, and we'll see you then.